I made it again to our channel. It's not mine, it's our channel. Hope you got that. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Again, it's your girl Chineye Zitaboyo, and you can call me Chi. I actually prefer to be called Chi. And this is Career and Life Conversations with Chi. It's something I've always wanted to do, and if you're new here, thank you for joining. If you're new in this community, thank you so much for joining today's YouTube channel. And as you can see, I'm wearing my favorite color today to talk about something I think is very important, and I just want to lend my voice today to what's going on with a lot of people, particularly immigrants in Canada. So I find that this is more peculiar to immigrants, and it doesn't mean it doesn't happen in other ways to other people, but this is just a very chill video today, and I'm just going to be talking about mental health, adulting, and emotional growth. So I think I want to emphasize them because we don't talk about it enough. We've started to just take it as part of life, which it is. But let's just pause and think about ways that we can make life better, our personal lives first, before we try to save others. I'm of the opinion that you have to save yourself first. You have to be physically, emotionally, and mentally before you can go ahead to find who you can help. And I want to put this disclaimer out there. Trust me, we are all work in progress. I'm not even where I want to be, but I am not where I used to be. So I know that this is something definitely I should lend my voice to. It's a part of life that we all need to intentionally watch, because life is life, and especially when you've made that big move of living your entire life and moving to a new country, a brand new country, without knowing anybody, with so many uncertainties, so many unknowns, and you've decided to make that big move. It's just bringing back so many memories. And I don't want to say, I'm not an expert, I'm not even a psychologist in any way, but I feel like I've been through my own fair share, so we need to be on the watch. Let's dive right into it. The first thing I want to be talking about today is career burnout and career exhaustion. Sometimes it doesn't look like you going to the office and throwing tantrums or not just being in the mood or whatever. Sometimes it also looks like you trying so hard to make a point. You trying so hard to be seen. You trying so hard to be heard. Sometimes it looks like that as well, because you're not yourself anymore. You're not just doing the work because you enjoy it, but you're doing the work because you feel like you have to prove a point, or you have to show the world that you are able to do it. So that is when you have to be careful. That's when you have to start watching why you're doing what you're doing. Are you doing it because you enjoy it? Are you doing it because you love it? Or are you just doing it because you want to prove a point? I would say the only advice I'm going to give any is, you are not tied to any job. I keep saying, if it's not your family inheritance, even some people have sold their family inheritance. If it's not your family inheritance, if it's not even your life depends on it, sometimes our lives depend on it for sure. But I would just say, not like our lives, but you need the job to survive or have a comfortable life. You need a job, not necessarily that job. That's what I want you to know. It's not necessarily that job. You just need a job. You need to get paid. You need money to survive in our country, especially in this Canada, where bills are monthly. You pay your rent monthly. You need a job. You definitely need money. Your destiny might not necessarily be tied to that job. I would say, once you start to feel a sense of burnout, or you start to feel a sense of discomfort, start considering other opportunities. Start exploring. Don't allow any employer push you to the point where you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You're not even happy. You wake up, you're frustrated. You wake up, you're sad. You're doing the work, you feel burdened. You're not yourself anymore. You're basically a shadow of yourself. I don't think any amount of money is worth your life or your mental health. I know it's not. I keep saying this thing, if anything happens to you tomorrow, sorry, but they've posted your job within the next 2 days maximum. So put in that effort, do the work, make a mark, make sure you're seen, make sure your impact is felt within your organization, but make sure it's not at the detriment of your mental health. I would say I find that a lot of immigrants don't set healthy boundaries. They just go with the flow, in quote. Let's move with the tide. But sometimes, no, you need to set those healthy boundaries even at work and in your personal life. Healthy boundaries can look like, it's 4 p.m., I'm closing. You make use of your work hours, optimize the work hours, and make sure that your work hours are used for what you should be using them for. Don't sleep during your work hours, but when it's time to also close, make sure you prioritize your work-life balance. Make sure you're closing at the time you're supposed to be closing. Even here in Canada, I find that most employers don't want you doing extra hours because it's like, who's going to pay you for those extra hours? They don't have the budget. So it's okay. Do it the next day. Prioritize your work and make sure that you're basically doing what you should be doing when you should be doing it. I'm a huge advocate for therapy. Have someone you talk to, be it a friend, a career coach, an actual therapist, a family member who has probably walked the path. Make sure you always have someone that you're talking to when you're at crossroads, basically, especially with your career, in life, overall. You want to make sure that you have a community that you can contribute to and you can also get back from. That has helped me a lot. Honestly, be it just the community of just one person, 2 people, 3 people, that's okay. It doesn't have to be hundreds of people. No, I find that even navigating lots of friendships and lots of relationships can also be draining for some people like me. For some others, they get energy from having conversations with people, but sometimes it's also tiring to have a lot of people that you're having to keep up with as friends, right? Even in your personal life, intentionally create those boundaries where if it's not serving you, don't just cut it off. No. If it's not serving you, maybe withdraw a bit. Don't keep pouring a lot of energy into something that's not serving you. And I'll relate it back to work. If it's not serving where you want to be at the time, start looking for other opportunities. Don't ever allow any employer to catch you unawares. That is something I pride myself in. No employer has caught me unawares. And it's not because, I don't know, maybe I'm praying nobody ever does. But I have always been ahead of the game in my career. I've always been able to read the room. I've always been able to know things are not what it's supposed to be. And then, zoom, unapologetically, I'm off. So make sure you prioritize therapy, healing, and reading the room, reading the energy. Intentionally create that community that will be there for you when you need it. Also, as much as I'm here preaching about the importance of community, make sure you're also that person for someone out there. Make sure you're also that person for someone out there who is trying to figure things out, who is trying to understand where they are at. Try to be that person as well for someone else to make sure that if they are going through something, that same community that has served you also serve. So that is something I want us to also consider. This is going to be a bonus point. Maybe I should start talking about my 30s because I just recently turned 30. I feel old, but I'm also very grateful because I think turning 30 it did something to me in the sense that I started to reevaluate a lot of things. I started to reevaluate a lot of decisions, a lot of people around me, a lot of things I've gotten myself involved in. So sometimes certain things will make you think deep about what's going on in your life. And I think turning 30 was one for me. And looking back, I couldn't help but be grateful for the people I have in my corner and I had in my corner at that phase of life. So just constantly reevaluate. That's just what I'm going to say. I think that age 30 made me intentionally reevaluate. Not that I haven't been doing it from time to time. I've always done it from time to time, but I had to now be more intentional about it. And I can say for free that I am grateful I did. This is not just about me, even though I'm just saying, just try and still check what can I pick out of this and implement in my own life as well. We individuals, sometimes we are just looking out for who we're going to help without really looking inward to ask ourselves, are we really taking our vacation? Are we really taking time off to unwind and relax? Are you, even though it's just take time off and do nothing at home, are you, let's ask ourselves, are we maximizing this thing called vacation? Because I find that a lot of immigrants are like, oh, I'm not going to take my vacation. No, I don't want them to think I'm not interested in the work. No, if you don't take your vacation, you're leaving money on the table. If you don't take your vacation to actually unwind, you're putting your mental health at risk. If you don't take your vacation to think back and re-strategize, you might just go downhill. So please take your vacation. That is your first step to making sure that your mental health is in check. If you have vacation time, take it. If you have personal days, take it. Don't ever feel like you're going to look unserious. No, those things are there for a reason. Please make use of them. I just also was thinking, how do you navigate burnout as a career person? How do you navigate burnout? This might be something I want to open up to have a conversation about in the comments, but how do you navigate burnout? Let's think about it. I know for sure that burnout can be very silent. It can be so silent that you don't even realize that you are burnt out. I've seen someone literally pass out just because of how much they have stretched themselves. Constant fatigue, constantly questioning yourself, constantly being overwhelmed. And you don't even, sometimes we human beings, we don't even stop to ask ourselves, what can I do differently? We just kind of move. And as much as that is beautiful, we immigrants do it a lot. You go to fun places, you're not even seeing a lot of immigrants. You're just seeing the actual, maybe Canadians, or we don't take out time to unwind. It's just hustle, make money, do second hustle. I can be guilty, because as I said, I wear so many hats. But one thing I know for sure is I'm going to have fun. I think in one of my earlier videos, I spoke about how I like to host. For some people, hosting is stress. No, to me, it's how I unwind, how I relax, how I chill with my friends, and how I make memories, right? It's not always all bad, for sure. It's not. Look for things that will make you happy. If it means taking out time to watch movies, if it means taking out time to go to the park, just take strolls, meet up with friends, take yourself out to the movies, take yourself out there. Parks here in Canada that usually are very functional in summer. Go to nature. Here, I'm in Calgary. Banff is very close. I enjoyed my stay in Banff. And travel the world. I can't overemphasize the fact that you only have one life to live. Travel the world if you can. Even recently, you will even find out that I found out recently that trips to other countries, it's not even as expensive as you think. Unless you want to fly business class, it's not bad. But if you want to do the bare minimum and still have fun, relax, and detach yourself from work, you can actually make those trips and you will be happy you did. There are some places you can go in Canada for under $1,000. From Canada, other countries you can travel to for under 1,000 Canadian dollars. Full package. When I say this, with flights, accommodation, feeding, there are websites would offer you that. So if you need to detach yourself from work and recharge, don't feel guilty about it. And let's continue to be healthy together, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's a very good place to be. As I said myself, I don't even know. I'm not a therapist. I'm not someone who, in my opinion, is the best at doing that. But I know that I have worked on myself. I'm not who I used to be. And I can see the difference in a lot of ways. So please switch off, detach, and unwind. You will not regret it. So that is what I felt led to talk about today. I can't ignore the fact that a lot of immigrants have passed away from packing shifts from these menial jobs, or having to take 5, 10, 6 shifts and working 20 hours a day, or not even having time to actually relax. So please relax. Please, I'm begging you, please relax. So that brings me to the end of today's episode, and it's your girl again, Chinea. You can call me Chi. It's so beautiful when I introduce myself. I feel good. You can call me Chi. And this is Career and Life Conversations with Chi. Please don't forget to comment, share, and click the bell button. That way you'll be notified when another episode drops. And if this really blessed you, please, I want to know. If this really turned something on in your head, please share. This is probably what someone else needs to actually go on that vacation and not dash the organization the time, please. Thank you. And I will see you again in another episode. Bye.